From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
Taylor Heating and Plumbing, Taylor 500 Help. You know, they make service that's customized to fit your needs at your house, whether you need a new central air or a new water heater, or maybe you have just a drafty house. They can do your insulation for you. Taylor Heating and Plumbing, they come out and they do it all. Air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, comprehensive maintenance plans, financing, especially financing. Because, you know, when your furnace blows, your air conditioner, you're thinking, oh my goodness, how much is this going to cost me? Don't stress important repairs or replacements. Talk to the people at Taylor. They can set up a financing plan for you, and that's nice. Taylor, and if you're looking for a right job, Taylor is hiring right now. Here are some of their opportunities. HVAC techs. They have plumbing projects. They need managers. They need office personnel. Call Taylor 500 Help for all of your needs. That's Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Precision Lawn and Garden. They're right there in North Avenue in Webster. Precision Lawn and Garden has been serving surrounding areas, professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. They've got everything you need. Snow blowers, chainsaws, lawnmowers, all of your favorite brands like Toro, Kawasaki engines, Cub Cadet, Aaron's, Precision Lawn and Garden. Talk to Kimberly and Justin, and they will make everything happen for you. Express Sealers. They do more than just seal driveways. They also plow driveways in the winter. So if you've got one of these guys that came by and picked up a check to plow your driveway or your business parking lot and they never showed up, call Brian. He'll make, I don't think the snow's over, by the way, 645-2010. That's 645-2010. Brian seals driveways in the summer. He plows, has a plowing business in the winter. So if you want to make sure you reach out and have everything done seasonally, 645-2010. Please support our advertisers. They support us here at Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People Podcast Network.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in cloudy 37-degree Irondequoit, New York.
Hello.
It's Chad's Revolution, starring Chad Hummel.
Chad.
And
Chad.
yeah, and Kimberly's here too.
Okay. All right, it's me.
Here she is.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's going on? I was just over here reading my fan mail.
Yeah, it's all about Chad. Chad.
I got a
Chad
message.
was on Newsmax today. Chad was on Newsmax today. You know, Chad's been on Fox News. Chad comes in and says, you know, Chad says, and Tom pointed out, holy hell, he's got such a big head now with he's kind of a media whore. And we're like, you're referring to yourself in the third person. You have reached that level. He's a star. It's all about Chad. It's all about me. All about me.
Can we correct the record, please? Objection.
Hey, Kimberly, did you see me on Newsmax? I was great on Newsmax.
Objection sustained. Listen, all I know is
he pulls out his lawyer card now.
About 2 hours ago.
Yeah, you're on Newsmax?
No, that was 3 hours ago. Okay. I get a text from Kimberly, right? Kimberly always sends a text every Wednesday. The text goes.
I'm the prepper. I do all the prep work.
Yeah,
right?
I don't do anything.
Just like I used to do in radio. I do it all.
She does all the work, right?
Except she runs the board now.
And then she sends out a text message a couple hours before the show, and it has a laundry list of the things that we're going to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
All right.
I do my homework. That's what I do.
Hold on. I should have been
always been a good girl.
I should have been more prepared for this.
Scared. I didn't do my homework.
You should have been more prepared for your own show. It is Chad's Revolution.
By the way, the name of the show today is Shove It Up Your Gas.
Yeah.
Shove it up your guy. It wasn't my idea. It was Austin's idea. And I'll tell you that little story.
Hold on. I'm not done yet.
Chad.
Objection.
Oh, sorry. I came too soon. There you go. I came in too soon.
You came too soon?
Hi, Austin. It's all about Chad.
Hello. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yes,
so
Chad.
Here's Kimberly's text. Here, blah, 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 blah. Here's some topics. Number 1, gas. Number 2, Putin. Number 3, Lindsey Graham. Who gives a shit about Lindsey Graham? Number 4, the Ukraine. Number 5, a daughter who killed her mom so she could inherit money for closing costs.
It's
Number
a house
6.
story. We do real estate here.
Number 6, there was a cat in a tree. Nowhere on this list does it say anything about my acquittal. I went to trial last Wednesday, and she wants to talk about cats and trees.
Okay, wait a minute. First off, I did not put a cat in a tree story. And second, did you not?
You belong to the local media, don't you? You don't want to cover this story.
With some patriots, and I love you all, friends and family that are watching. I love you all. When a patriot pointed out, oh, Kimberly's making this a regular thing that she doesn't show up for the Tuesday podcast.
That's right.
Fuck, my husband had emergency surgery, y'all.
Do we have a picture of that?
Oh, yes, we have a picture. Oh, I didn't send the pic. Do you have a picture?
Oh,
Dude, send me a picture. I
See?
gotta get one.
She's
Give me a
too worried
minute.
about
Tom,
the
you
cat
have the
in the
picture.
tree
Can you
story.
say cat in the
What?
tree story?
There's a squirrel on a surfboard, and she wants to.
I know. Oh, here it is. I'll send it to you real quick. Yeah, but so yeah. What did I ask you?
I quit.
said, did you talk about it yesterday for an hour when I wasn't here on the show?
That's right. And
Okay.
ask Tom what I said.
I'm
I go,
staying neutral.
look, we're gonna have the 2:00 revolution. I'll come on the show because Kimberly will be pissed if I talk about on my forum. I deferred to the 2:00 Kimberly's revolution that I was going to talk about my trial.
Okay.
I wasn't going to even save it for my own
There's
podcast.
my
There he
husband.
is.
He
But you
was
didn't show up yesterday.
he was in the hospital for surgery yesterday. So
Yeah.
so I couldn't do the podcast.
That's
and
because you sent him up in the tree to rescue the cat and he
some
fell.
snarky little biatch on the website said, "Oh, Kimberly's making this a habit of not showing up for the podcast." No,
There goes another fan we lost. Great job.
she knows her name, Carol. I love you, Carol. She erased that message after I really made her feel bad. I love that. I live for those moments where I
You
can
make people feel
where I
bad.
can make someone feel bad in a laughing, joking manner. I don't mean to make them feel bad. I'm like, my husband's kind of having emergency surgery.
Carol, send a letter to management. We'll fire her.
Is this where I'm supposed to say shocking?
Shocking. Yeah. So I wanted to name the show today. It's a gas.
It's a cat in a tree.
And I blew it. I said, I don't know what
Tom's
it means.
like,
Do you know what it's a gas
What's
refers to?
it's a
Gas
gas. Well,
See?
it comes from a song.
Oh, is that from the 50s?
Oh my
This
God,
must be a
I'm
Midwest
dealing
thing.
with freaking morons.
This must
I'm
be a
sorry.
Midwest thing.
It's Chad Hummel. He's been on Newsmax today. I cannot
The
make
Rolling
fun.
Stones,
I cannot
Mr.
make fun.
Hummel.
I'm going to put the Chad Hummel. It's got the Chad Hummel. I cannot make fun of the Chad Hummel today.
It's the
It's
Chad.
it's from Jumpin' Jack Flash. Do you know who sings that? I can't.
Kenny
I just-
Rogers?
I just said it.
Come on.
cannot.
Even I got this reference.
I blew it.
So I'm like, okay.
Like-
So Tom's like, oh no, that's not.
Neil
Nobody
Diamond?
gets that.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
stupid.
gets that. So we couldn't name it gas because I love that reference. So Austin says, how about shove it up your gas?
Perfect.
It's the
And I'm
Rolling
like,
Stones.
yes.
I said that
Rolling
targets low
Stones.
information voters like me.
so there he is. So Austin came up with the title of the show today. See, it is a team effort
So wait,
here.
what's the name
at
of the show?
Kimberly's
Shove it up
Revolution.
Chad's ass?
Shove it up. Chad's name's got to be in it. Chad's everywhere. Chad.
Chad.
I'm not doing a show unless my name's in the title.
Can you just speak of yourself for all of the show as in the third person?
Well, hold on.
Well,
Let me
Chad
ask.
says-
Hold on. Let me ask myself.
I mean, someone called you a whore last week, and I jokingly,
I think it
pointed
was
out
Tom.
that if you were indeed a whore, your wife, who is Polish, would take a machete and chop your
That's
your
correct.
junk off with a rusty machete. By the way,
That's correct.
So,
A
yeah.
rusty butter knife.
Because that's all it would take.
right? Exactly. All right, so you've joined us for Kimberly's Revolution. Shove it up your gas. Can we play first off? I love TikTok, and TikTok kind of puts everything as a nation how we're feeling about these gas taxes, the gas prices. They kind of take it all, and you kind of get an idea of how everyone's feeling, but they do it in a funny way. Can we play the truck owners, the guys who own the big trucks, the TikTok?
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
Stones too, right?
No. Yeah, I like that. Don't you like that?
That was all right.
Yeah, that was okay.
It wasn't Chad in the
He
video.
didn't say
I know.
my. He didn't say my name.
No. We're Chad. Da-na-na-na-na.
Right.
No. So can we play the Tim McGraw one?
My money, take my wallet, take my credit card.
I don't.
Here's a watch at my grandpa's.
That's the best.
He's talking to the pump. Please take my wallet.
Now that
Take my
was
cre-
good.
Okay, that was
That was
really good.
phenomenal.
I like the trucker one too.
That was phenomenal.
Whoever that guy is, he's a real guy. He looks like whoever the dude is from Yellowstone, ladies. What's his name? the one that's a cowboy that Beth is constantly just, she loves him, but she puts him down. I don't know what his name is though. Do you watch Yellowstone?
No.
Yeah. Can we do the trucker one again? I'm sorry. I love it. Maybe it's because he just
You just like truckers, Kimberly.
We're completely fucked, completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
okay.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
Tim McGraw's better.
It was all right for you.
in
Okay.
my
I like the third one personally.
So we had and I had this picture up too, and I want to start with this. Just it's a little bit lighter before we get into the the real meat of Kimberly's revolution. And by the way, please support our advertisers of Taylor Heating and Cooling, Professional Precision Lawn and Garden, and Express Sealers. We love our advertisers. They kind of help us pay the bills around here, and we appreciate them. And of course, Fitz at Rockbox Productions, who was here to help with the Newsmax production this morning, right?
Yeah, we gotta get this thing moving because I have another. I have a 4:30 Newsmax.
Do you? Yeah, you're all over the place.
Yeah, Fitz
What's
was
that
here.
called? I'm just Chad.
Kimberlina, I don't have anything planned.
Okay. It's just Tom. It's just Tom and I. So I put this. So Austin and Tom, I had this. We always go over all the pictures and all the video I have before we actually bring it to the show. That way, I can just make sure that everything I have matches, what we are going to talk about. So. There is a picture of a guy. Can you put it up? He's an older gentleman. Can you put that up?
The pre-show is always funnier than the
I know,
actual
right?
show.
Is that Biden?
So someone and then Austin,
give it
what
away?
did you say? He looked like a dead Biden.
I said, oh, that looks like Biden.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like an alive Biden.
Which is
Biden looks
Which is
dead.
he looks
And
dead.
then Austin said something about his muffin.
Yeah, right. So this is actually a dead guy. He's not dead in that picture, of course, but you've all heard of him or you've eaten him at some point in time.
Huh?
And at this point, I said that I don't eat men.
And
I'm
I
like,
said, I've eaten his muffin.
Wow. I'm glad I was downstairs meeting with a client when all this was going on.
but we've all eaten him and we've all loved him.
Is that Kentucky? Is that Colonel Fried Chicken?
No, he's been long dead. This is Charles Entenmann of the Entenmann's
Yeah,
bakery,
The best.
right? Family. And he's the one that basically pulled his family business into being on Bayshore, Long Island. His father, who was a German immigrant, came over to the United States and did what immigrants used to do. And that is
Work.
they acclimate to the
Learn
United
English?
States of America. They learn English. They start a business.
Work for a living.
And they actually contribute to the United States of America. And that's what his father did.
Oh,
Opened
Kimberly,
up his.
you're just a racist.
Apparently I am against Germans. I don't know. But this guy opened up his first bakery in 1898. And in
That guy?
no, not that guy, his father.
Oh, okay.
But Charles Entenmann, who took the Intimates brand and the idea of the bakery and expanded it into the Intimates that we know. And the freaking donuts and cookies are amazing. That's why I'm such a
Danish.
fat ash.
Did it stay in the family? Is
It
the
did.
family continuing it?
So they sold it in
Oh.
1978, but the family still had like members of the family on the board, but they sold the enterprise, the Intimates enterprise, for $233 million in 1978, which is more
Wow.
than $1 billion in
Yeah,
today's
that was a big
money.
number in the 70s.
Here's the thing. His son says, Dad never liked any of that stuff. Wasn't a dessert guy. Didn't eat Danish. Didn't eat donuts. Freaking chocolate donuts are amazing.
It looks like he sniffs hair though.
Well, he doesn't anymore because he's dead. He died at Bayshore Southside Hospital in Long Island
Of COVID.
of 92 years old. No, he did not die of COVID, but yeah, he did pass away. And it wasn't from eating too many cookies and Danish and anything. He just,
Well, he made it to 92.
he made it to 92. He was a good long life,
It's a
but
terrible number.
but he's
92.
I got to tell you, the first time I ever had Intimates, I never even heard of it because I'm from the Midwest. And I never heard of it until I came to Jersey and I was living with a girlfriend who had just graduated from Rutgers College. And she goes, "You got to try these donuts. They're amazing." I'm like, "Oh my God." and there is, it just appealed to the fat girl in me. So there he is.
There you go.
Mr. Intimate, we hope you're in the in heaven eating as many donuts as you want.
His Danish.
The big
was a
donut in the sky.
staple in our house when I was a kid.
Was
We'd
it?
get his Danish in the rectangular box.
Yeah.
Probably from Tops or Wegmans or wherever.
Yeah.
Wherever we did our shopping.
Did your mom smoke a cigarette and eat a donut at the same
two or
time?
3 cigarettes.
Isn't it called Coogan?
Coogan, there you go.
There you go.
What's a Coogan?
I think that's what it's called.
That's a different thing. There's
don't know what
Danishes and Kukens.
It's an older Danish, so they call them Coogans.
All right. So yeah, shove it up your gas. Here we are. Did any of you buy gas today?
No.
I bought gas today.
Yesterday I did though.
$4.79 a gallon.
Bingo.
Shove it up your gas.
$4.79.
$4.79. Well, it
Holy-
was 2 days ago.
holy
2 days ago I
shit
paid
burger.
$4.09 for regular.
in 2 days, gas has gone up almost 40 cents. So
Where the hell did you go? The mobile on the corner?
No, I went to a Speedway on the corner.
Oh.
A mobile on a corner is always the most expensive.
Yeah.
Always. It doesn't matter where you go now. There is even a line that is reminiscent, and none of you guys, I don't know how, I know you won't remember. You will remember.
Thanks for calling me old.
I won't remember because I was on Hannity when this happened.
Were you? Okay. You were on with the Fox and Morning Show.
That's right. Fox
So,
and Friends.
so
Good to hear Kimberly laugh.
so I remember the gas wars in the 70s. My dad had a Pinto. So, but we would actually, in the small town that I grew up in, where I think there was one gas station at the time, there wasn't even a Casey's at that time, that we waited in line at the Phillips 66 to get gas
Sounds like a country
in
song.
1974.
It's the year I was born.
Oh,
But go on.
awful. But anyway, I mean, I remember these things only because my dad's Pinto just embarrassed the living
color was
Jesus
it?
at blue.
My mom had.
My
yellow
dad had
Pinto.
a baby blue Pinto as well.
It was my dad's was bright blue.
Did it get hit from the rear and explode?
And I feel bad about it today, but no, it did not. I always made him drop me off after cheerleading
Somewhere
practice,
else?
like not,
Yeah.
because
Remember
my
those
dad,
days.
we were blue
It's your
collar.
dad. It's the Pinto.
My dad worked at the Ford plant. He had a
There you
Pinto,
go. The mobile on my corner is $4.45 today when I drove by it.
445.
Yeah, the mobile
So
on my corner.
I paid $4.79. So yeah. So here we are. Gas, barrel of oil today, I think was looming at about the 130 mark. I do believe that the Black Biden has a little bit something to say about that.
The
Can we
Black
play
who?
the Black Biden?
Oh, this is going to get us in trouble, I think.
Yeah.
This is funny.
Here comes a letter.
When the cost of a gallon of gasoline gets to above $3.35 a gallon,
No.
it has profound impact on working class families just to get back and forth to work. So I don't see anything inconsistent with that, but I do think that the idea that Russia and Saudi Arabia and other major producers are not going to pump more oil so people can have gasoline to get to and from work, for example, is not right.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Is.
Am I the only one that understood that?
What did Biden even say there? And that's not for any of you who think that's edited.
No, that's real. I remember that.
That is not edited. That was in October,
Mhm.
right? They're saying now because, of course, President Biden announced yesterday that the U.S. has, banned imports of Russian oil and natural gas,
Which is going to do nothing to help without
What-
opening up oil, right?
which is going to send a barrel of oil. They say it could go as high as $300 a barrel, if you can even imagine that. In California, at some gas stations, they're already paying upwards of $6.50 to $7 a gallon.
I heard 7 today. somebody
Why?
told me.
I mean, if it gets to that point, in California's, their own little piece of crazy of the United States. So we kind of go, oh, it's just California being California. But when I got gas this morning for $4.79, you got to be thinking to yourself,
How many F-bombs did you lay out?
I can't even tell you.
Well, yeah, because it used to
But-
be that when we were hitting the 3 to 350, we would see the $5 tag in California,
And now you're
and we
seeing
would say
7.
things like they're their own little piece of crazy. But now we're at that number.
We're at that number.
We're at the number that we used to think was their piece of crazy.
And it's not going down. In fact, you got gas, what'd you say, 2 days ago?
2 days ago, 409.
And it's already gone up 30 cents, 40 cents, depending on where you go in the city. And if you want to wait in line at Costco, God
oh
love
my
you.
God, I was there the other day.
Who has that kind of time? I
It
mean,
was-
you got to get there right when it opens. I mean, honestly, if you're not getting to Costco or BJ's to get in line
Yeah.
when they open,
It was $3.69 at BJ's.
You're screwed. And that's why I'm thinking to me, oh my God, this is so reminiscent to me of the gas wars of the 70s and Jimmy Carter's debacle and that whole thing, you know.
Jimmy Carter, he was a Democrat, right?
Ford and then Jimmy
He
Carter.
was a peanut farmer, Chad.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was Ford. It was
Thanks for that
Ford.
information.
It was
Tom.
Ford into Jimmy Carter, but you know, and it was the not great, and then the worst, kind of back to back there. But yeah, so and here we are. I mean, Russia is just the third largest oil producing country in the world, right? The third. Who do you think is the first?
I thought we used to be the first.
We are.
We were.
We are.
We just use a shit ton of it.
The U.S.
when we're actually producing
and
it.
Saudi Arabia are 1 and 2 of the biggest 3 oil producing countries in the world.
Venezuela's in there somewhere.
Yeah. So we shut down the
Our own
exchange,
pipelines.
the U.S. to Russia, banning imports of Russian oil. So who do we call? Ring ring
Ghostbusters,
ring ring.
Canada.
Hello.
Newsmax.
Ring ring. Hello. Venezuela. We're calling Venezuela in Iran.
Yeah, they're good Democrat constitutional republics, right?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard
We're
that.
having a conversation instead of opening up the pipelines, which I don't know, maybe you guys know a little bit, but I'm familiar with Oklahoma and Texas. They have those little oil rigs out there going up and down all over the country in the Midwest, right? What are you laughing at? They go up and down.
Yeah.
Right.
They're nothing in them.
Tom's
They're all
never been
dry.
he's never been west of the
Are they
Tennessee.
dry?
Yeah. No, they have those in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. They have them all over the place.
Oh, they're fracking there.
Well,
They
they
can't have
they
that.
have oil wells too.
Can't have fracking. Can't do that. Don't want to frack.
You know what we're doing right now as a country? We're sanctioning ourselves.
Of course.
Right? We talk about as stupid, ignorant Americans, we always toe the company line and we always fall for the talking points of our federal government when they talk about how, oh, well, we're going to sanction Russia and we're going to sanction North Korea and we're going to put sanctions on all these countries, right? To bring their people, the citizens of those countries, to their knees so that effectively the citizens will, rebel and revolt against the government, which will turn the foreign policy around.
Yeah.
Well, somebody must be sanctioning us right now.
Isn't that what's happening here?
That's my point.
Right.
The American people are now being brought to their knees over gas prices.
Gas prices. When
So
we're the
who's doing it?
largest producing oil country in the
is
world.
Russia doing it to us? Is North Korea doing it to us?
No.
No, we're doing
it to us. Hey,
AOC, the cabal in the government,
well, you know
the
what it is.
squad, they're doing it.
You know what the ultimate agenda is
Green
behind
energy.
the whole
Buy an
charade.
electric vehicle.
cars.
Buy an electric car. But let me just tell you a little something about an electric car.
Screw your electric car.
Screw
That's
your
what
electric
I'll tell
car.
you about an electric
Your
car.
electric car is very expensive. Where are you going to charge it? I have a friend, Cupcake Chris, and her husband Kirk. They have an electric car. I love them, but they always got to have the newest, shiniest toy. And I don't say that because I love them. I love them a lot, but that's the way they are. They have bicycle gear. They're in the bike mode. They've got to have all bike stuff, right? If they're into, what are those little mini bikes? Those little moped, whatever they're called. They've got to have all the gear that goes with that.
Do they watch Newsmax?
So now did they see you on Newsmax? So now they're into the electric car thing, but here they didn't, I don't think, maybe they did think it through. But you have to bring it all the way down to Kodak where there's a charging station. It doesn't charge in a matter of minutes. It's hours, 6 to 7 hours. You got to leave your car. But if you want to put a charging station in your garage, if you have a garage and you don't live in an apartment complex, it's about $3,000 to hook up the exact outlet and hire an electrician to come do that in your garage. There's your clean.
Well,
But
if you can afford $80,000 for a car, then you can afford $3,000 to hook it up.
But that's where we are. You understand? That's the whole push. Well, let's just show them what happens
And I have a stupid
when
little
we're
question.
run up against the wall with gas prices. Everyone will say, let's have an electric car. It'll be so wonderful.
What happens?
And it's not. It's a play, and they're playing you.
But
big time.
what happens if we all had an electric car, right? Poof, snap your fingers. We all have electric cars tomorrow.
Where are you going to
What
plug it in and
happens when
charge it?
What happens when the grid goes down? Right? What happens when there's a windstorm and the tree falls? I mean, this is a
I don't know.
this is a serious but
Is this a
potentially
bear shit in the woods thing?
a stupid question. I don't know how this stuff works.
I have no idea either. That would be
I know my TV and my lights go out in a windstorm. Do you have the ability to drive a vehicle at that point when the electricity goes out? I mean, what's the backup plan? Do these
I
things
have
run
no
on
idea.
do these run on a battery? Do you have a battery in your garage? I mean, what's the backup plan? Because I know the backup
don't
plan
know.
for gas is
I don't know.
you go to the gas station and you get some.
and you get some.
Or you keep a little extra fuel in your
They
garage.
don't want you to
You
go
get
to
a
the
generator, Chad, and you plug it into your electric car. And you run the generator on gas.
yeah,
for
exactly.
6 hours.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
For 6 hours. You got to keep going gas.
You need
Gas,
gas.
gas, gas. Shove it up your gas. That's the name of
Shove it up
today's
Chad's gas.
Kimberly's Revolution. The show's today is Chad's Revolution. I had a friend yesterday on the phone tell me
She had a friend yesterday.
I don't have a
But
friend
go on.
today. My friends are day to day. They're day to day only with me.
They send her letters.
That's
But he-
not real surprising.
He said to me, he goes, I don't get the whole Kimberly's Revolution, the name. He goes, you're not.
What?
He said, this was interesting to me because he said, you're not really like a revolutionary. You're not like a Limbaugh. You're not all politics. You're not like, grr, I'm angry. I'm a revolutionary. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it just kind of sounded good at the time.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah. He said it should be like,
Kimberly's bridal
he
show.
said it should be like, call the show FOK, FOK, Friends of Kimberly, or it could be Kimberly's Cult or something like that.
Well, but
He
here's
was
the
trying to rename the show when we're
Yeah, we
almost
can
2
do
years
that.
into renaming
You-
the show.
it has to be, and look, of course, I'm biased because I came up with the name. But anyway, so
You did come up. It's Chad's name. He
it's-
came up with the idea.
and I'll
except
change
it's-
it.
Yeah.
But it has to be taken in the context of what was going on in your professional career
Yeah.
at the time that we met you.
And it was
Right?
quite a revolution at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were getting wrongly bounced,
Yeah.
left and right, and
Yes.
left again and right again.
Yes,
And you landed here,
I did.
and we said, "Let's go."
It's a revolution.
It's a revolution. We're
Yeah.
gonna change the way that Kimberly gets out there and reaches her fans,
Right.
and you're not gonna touch her anymore.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to touch her. She's gonna be Kimberly. She's gonna say what she wants, when she wants, where she wants.
I'm going to do it when
other
Chad
than
tells
making
me.
Tom nervous once in a while.
Kimberly Unfiltered.
There you go.
Right.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should have named it that.
No, I don't
Kimberly
know. You know, in
Unfiltered.
Austin, do
hindsight,
you have the mute button?
it's always, here's what I love. I always
You go
love.
ahead and hit Kimberly's mic, please.
Oh, I've had that done too. Believe me, Austin wouldn't be the first to mute my mic. But no, it's always in hindsight. All these people have these great ideas. You know, they can Monday morning quarterback it a year and a half, almost 2 years later. But I'm like, that's maybe not
Yeah,
a bad
tell your
idea.
friend to go fly a kite.
It's
Tell him to go
Joey
shove it up his
Bricado.
gas.
You know, Joey Bricado.
No, I
It
don't.
was Joey
Sorry-
Bricado. He's
sorry,
an
Joe.
Irondequoit guy.
Okay.
You ought to know him. All right. So the Ukraine. I know.
When do we get to the cat in the tree?
Well, first off, let's get an update on what happened with you last Wednesday.
Oh,
now we-
Da-da-da.
I mean, I know you already told your story on
Da-da-da-da.
Newsmax.
and
All right.
now the news.
I was found not guilty. Now on to the cat
Oh,
in the tree.
okay. Yeah, there we go.
So let me just point out
Go ahead.
That-
Ask me some questions.
that last
You're
week-
the professional.
last
interviewer.
week you were not here,
Last Wednesday.
and we had the war orphan
Oh,
Jill
yeah.
Krenzer on. And by
what
the
an
way,
amazing woman.
they've gotten the children from that orphanage to a border country. She didn't
Awesome.
mention which border country, but the kids, those
how cute they
kids, along with some of the other kids in this Ukrainian orphanage, have been gotten to a
Thank
border
God.
country. I don't know which one. She did not tell me, but I wanted to give an update on the War Orphan podcast from last week. You weren't here, so we had Jill Krenzer in to talk about these boys that she already has one Ukrainian orphan that she adopted a year ago. These are two more that she's trying to bring in to her family. There are several other Rochester area families that are adopting these orphans from Ukraine that they just had no idea where they were.
Mhm.
You weren't here last week. We had Jill in to tell that story because you, a year later, after multiple court appearances and a waste of your time and your energy and money because you had to pay an attorney,
Correct.
finally went to court because you happened to be at your son's baseball game last May at East Irondequoit High School, outside as they generally play baseball, and you didn't have a mask on because you were
100
outside,
Hundreds of feet from the nearest person,
right?
other than my maskless wife.
And you were arrested.
I was arrested. And here's, in a nutshell, it was about a 4-hour trial. There was 4 witnesses from the school district that testified against me.
Mhm.
2 of them told blatant lies under oath, right? So my promise that I made publicly 10 months ago of provide me a public apology, change some school district rules and policies,
Mhm.
and resign, that offer is off the table. That offer's off the table, not because I wasn't willing to stand by it. It's because 2 individuals that currently still work for the East Arundequoit Central School District at the administration level
Right.
took the stand in Arundequoit Town Court last Wednesday night and lied under oath.
They
in order,
lied?
in order to try to gain a conviction against me.
Oh, no.
And why do they need this conviction so badly?
Why?
Well, because
Why waste their time?
that would cover them from any civil liability. Because
Bingo.
if Chad Hummel,
So they lied.
The
Isn't
guy-
that illegal?
Wait. If Chad Hummel,
hold on, I'm in the third person. Don't interrupt me. If Chad Hummel had been found guilty last Wednesday night of a crime or anything at all, then the district's hands would be clean as far as any civil liability for what they did to me.
Of course.
So now it's game on.
So isn't lying under oath illegal?
Perjury. Yeah, it's a crime. And there's going to be transcripts. And now there's going to be a civil suit where those lies can be further developed.
It's your lawyer calling.
and further proven. Yeah, that's the
kind
judge.
of.
Yeah. So so they lied under oath, and now it's game on. There is going to be a civil lawsuit
Wow.
for sure. Luckily,
You should go after them.
Judge
Can I just
Valentino
say-
found me not guilty.
Judge Valentino?
Well, when you say Judge Valentino, so his father is a retired Monroe County Supreme Court judge.
He's amazing.
Was a drug court judge.
I love him.
Was on the appellate division.
Yes.
Had a very great career as an attorney.
Very
and jurist.
fair, very nice man.
Very nice man.
Very nice. One of the nicest men I know, Judge
So
Valentino.
He had 4 sons. 2 of them are
Wow.
attorneys.
Mhm.
One of them, Chris Valentino, I went to law school with. And then his other son, his oldest son, I believe, is Joe Valentino. And Joe Valentino was the presiding judge. And, I wasn't convinced by any stretch, literally right to the moment where he was rendering the verdict, that he wasn't going to find me anything but guilty. Quick funny story. I'll tell you this. I mean, you've been on the front lines of this since the beginning, and you've heard my version of this story since the beginning.
Can I just say this should have gone away after the first court appearance?
Oh, no question.
Without a doubt, this should have gone away after the first court appearance, but they pushed and they wanted to push and
Yeah.
they wanted to push.
Yeah, because the district had to try to cover their tracks here.
Right.
So for 10 months, I knew I was innocent, right? I was there. I saw what happened. I was obviously a participant in what happened. I knew I was innocent, right? It wasn't until the DA, the assistant district attorney,
Mhm.
gave his closing arguments at around 9:30 last Wednesday night,
Are you kidding me?
where I was finally convinced by somebody that I was guilty.
Oh, so the
So he did a good job.
The ADA did a great
Yeah,
job.
the ADA did a good job.
All right.
I mean, look, the trial itself, I don't think he did a good job.
I can't even
think
believe
he
it came
got-
to the trial.
Yeah, my
Anyway.
attorney did a phenomenal job. My attorney blindsided the DA's office with some arguments and with some motions, got some of the potential evidence thrown out that night before the trial was about to start
Mhm.
because of various illegalities of the evidence that they were about to present against me. So from the trial standpoint, the DA was kind of behind he was in a tough spot, put it
Right.
that way. But his closing argument, if you had just walked in and listened to his closing argument, you'd have been like, that guy's guilty as shit. Right?
But you were not.
And I'm watching Judge
the-
Valentino listen to the closing argument, because that's
Yeah.
all you can do when you're the defendant. You're just sitting there going, all right, my life is in the judge's hands right now. So I'm listening to the DA, I'm watching the judge, and I'm like, Judge Valentino is going to probably find me guilty at this point.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn good argument he just made, right? And Valentino literally took 5 minutes. He got up off the bench after the summations, and he said, I'll be back in 5 minutes with my verdict. And normally in town court, night court,
Mhm.
bench trial,
Mhm.
the judge doesn't render the decision that night. They usually deliberate, just like a jury would deliberate.
Oh, wow.
They usually bring us back in a couple weeks.
Right.
And so that's what we were expecting. I had talked to my attorney about it. We were both expecting that we would do the trial, and then it would be a couple more weeks where I'd have to deal with this and have this hanging over my head.
Again, yeah.
So he says, I'll be
Longer.
back in 5 minutes. which to me, that means he's coming back guilty.
Yeah.
He's already made up his mind. He doesn't need to deliberate. I'm guilty. He comes back in 5 minutes, reads me a little bit of a riot act to scare me a little bit, and then says, not guilty. And that was it. And it was pretty, we've all seen all of the TV trials, right?
Right.
And obviously, I wasn't on trial for murder or anything like that. But
Because
nonetheless,
we're not wearing a mask.
but when you're standing
outside.
there and you're potentially found
Jesus.
guilty of a misdemeanor and you could potentially lose your law license and so on and so forth,
Mhm.
it's pretty nerve-wracking. And so literally in that moment of waiting for the judge to say either guilty or not guilty, it's kind of a surreal moment.
Yeah, I
where
can
you, where you
imagine.
kind of lose track of what's happening.
Yeah.
And then you hear not guilty. and
Now
you're
it's
just,
over.
You're just
Well,
relieved.
it's not
Yeah.
over because
It's-
you're going
yes.
after the school for civil.
My
It's
my
a year of-
jeopardy is over.
A year of your life,
Yeah.
all this time and energy of having to go to the courthouse and blah 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 and pay an attorney. So
Yeah.
now you're
Now it's time to go on the offense.
Chad, can they appeal this at all? Anyway,
No.
okay.
so there. I mean, so that's a yay. That's a win.
Yes.
So have you
Thank
already
you.
started the procedure to?
I have, because I had to file paperwork several months back, because in order to sue a municipality such as a school district,
Mhm.
you have to file what's called a notice of claim within 90 days of when the incident occurred. So I had to file paperwork before August 1st of last year.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, yeah,
So,
okay.
so I preserved the lawsuit so that in the event that I was found not guilty, I would be able to now proceed.
You smart.
I've already been contacted 3 times by the attorneys for the school district because they want to proceed with this notice of claim that I filed, because they have to interview me now under oath when I file this notice of claim. And we were holding off on it because I had to wait until my trial was over, because I wasn't going to go in front of this attorney, give testimony, and then have them potentially try to use that against me at the trial.
And by the way, this isn't for your own, purposes, right? I mean, you're doing this so that they don't make these kind of stupid ass decisions going forward,
1,000%.
right? You're
That-
doing it to protect other parents
1,000%. In
who
fact, that's
want
going
to go and support their kid, and the school district comes up with some asinine rule that you have to wear a mask outside at a May baseball game when you're not even standing next to anyone. Because some people will say, he's just doing this so he can keep his eye. But but I'm just taking the other side because I know how people think.
Sure.
And the way they're thinking is, he's just doing it for his own benefit, yada yada. But you are not,
No, I didn't go
doing
there
this.
to get handcuffed and taken to jail for my own benefit.
right?
I didn't go there and risk that
And-
I'd be found guilty of a
and
misdemeanor.
you didn't go there to be arrested at all.
Correct.
It wasn't
Correct.
Yeah.
And if that narrative were true, I would have taken the adjournment and contemplation of dismissal that they offered me months ago, which is effectively a dismissal after 6 months. If I had done this for my own personal reasons, I would have gotten myself out of it long
Right.
before standing there last Wednesday night at 9:45 waiting for the judge to hopefully find me not guilty.
right.
I did this because I needed the judge to say not guilty so that the rest of the parents can know that school districts, they can't do this to you.
Right.
They can't tell you to leave just because they want you to leave.
Right.
You have to be breaking a law. You have to be
Of
disturbing
which
the
you were
peace.
not, because
No.
the mask mandate is not a law.
And it wasn't even, and at the time, on May 1st of 2021, the actual mask mandate that was in effect from Governor Cuomo, which was the executive order, did not require masks outdoors when you were maintaining social distancing. So it was a sham all around.
Yeah.
It was a sham all around. It was just the school district trying to bully me, and they picked the wrong guy to pick a fight with.
Pick the wrong guy for sure. Pick the wrong guy. Hey,
They picked Chad Hummel.
Chad
They should have
Hummel.
went after the cat in the tree.
Exactly. The cat was in the tree, I think, and what was it? Firefighters wouldn't get it down, so some tree guy did.
The cat in the hat.
I don't even know where that was, but I saw that story a lot this morning. You're listening and watching to Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast network, and we appreciate all of our patriots, all of our friends and family that watch. All the patriots are friends and family. Of course, Chad and Just Tom and Austin, who are all in the room with us. We appreciate also all of our sponsors, and we want you to support our sponsors as well. Back to the Ukraine for just a second. Off of Chad for just a second. I know he
Poor
hates
shit.
it. He hates it when we go off topic.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of
Talking to me or Tom?
what's going down.
No, nobody's talking to me.
I
Chad.
just don't. I mean, there are a lot of people out there going, we don't really know what's going on, why Russia and the Ukraine are kind of at each other. We don't really know. And so I want our first female vice president to explain it to us.
Has anyone proven that she's a female yet?
I'm going to let you listen to her. And
Oh, this is the best. I've heard
and she
this.
was asked the question.
Yeah, but you haven't heard this version.
She was asked the question, what's going on with the Ukraine?
Now in the Ukraine. Break it down in layman's terms for people who don't understand what's going on and how can this directly affect the people of the United States.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
I mean,
That lady she takes the audio from like Nancy Pelosi, that lady on Twitter,
Yeah,
and I don't know
she's
who she
hilarious.
is, but she's hilarious. That lady on Twitter takes the audio from real audio, that is real audio from the vice president, Kamala Harris, trying to do her level best to act like she has a brain.
is the phrase
level
you can't make
best.
this shit up overused yet? Because if it's not, you can't make this shit up. That
If,
those
if
remarks.
she was a Republican, she'd be on every episode of Saturday Night Live.
That hurts me just to hear that. It hurts my head.
All right, can I play
just-
devil's advocate for
just
just
to-
a second?
just to
She'd
hear
be
that.
Dan Quayle if she was a Republican.
Who is she? Who is she addressing? Does
She
anyone
was
know?
some radio show that she was talking to. I don't even know. Some talk radio. I don't even know.
Okay.
Obviously
So
not.
she
a
wasn't
conservative.
talking to a kindergarten class.
Correct.
No, she wasn't
All right.
talking. She was,
Yeah, we actually had this conversation.
yeah.
Because I'm not even sure that would have been age appropriate for a kindergarten class. I think even the kindergartners may have laughed at her.
Oh, right, exactly.
But
I mean, and again, I mean, you always try to dumb things down, but I mean, does she think that we're all idiots?
It's like how you tell your kids the birds
Wow.
and the bees.
Right.
It's like, well, you got this, and
Right.
there's that, and
Right. and
well,
then
you can figure
this
it out.
goes into that,
Right.
and then a baby is born.
You
Woo!
can figure it out.
Right,
When does-
exactly.
when
And
does
you,
the stork
and,
come?
and
That-
you use these things, and don't talk to me anymore.
But here's the other thing that, I for the life of me, I can't figure this out, because there's so many companies that have pulled out of Russia.
Pulled
Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, Starbucks, Bumble. Do you know what Bumble is?
I heard that they haven't.
Bumble is
pulled out of-
yes. Netflix,
Oh,
Estee
all right.
Lauder, all of these companies. I mean, McDonald's, they say, is going to take the biggest financial hit because it's like 9% of McDonald's global revenues. If you
They
can
like
kind
the
of,
Big Mac over there.
they do. So, and what are the odds? You think Putin gives a rat's ass
No,
that
he's
you
not eating a Big
that
Mac.
you can't go get your $7, Starbucks mocha venti frappuccino with, goat milk and go get a burger.
Well, but I imagine there's got to be royalties that,
And-
that his government is pulling out of
Wow,
his
there-
and then
Yeah,
you can,
true.
you go do that and you Netflix and chill while you're scrolling through Bumble to find your next, hit it and get it or whatever it is.
Yeah, they get a cut off the top, I imagine.
He
Being
doesn't give a
communist
rat's
country.
ass at Coca-Cola and Pepsi and McDonald's and Netflix and Estee Lauder. Putin doesn't care. That's not going to bring Putin to his knees. He doesn't care about any of this shit. He's like, whatever. Doesn't bother him.
Well,
Yeah.
it might turn public opinion against him because I mean, imagine living in Russia, which sounds terrible, and you can't even get a McDonald's. Like
can't
that,
can't get your Big Mac, Austin.
Can't
right?
get your 30-pack of
So-
nuggets.
You
Jesus.
go home from your Russian factory job, you can't even watch Netflix.
You can't get your Shamrock shake.
So what you're
You
saying,
can't get a
Austin?
Shamrock Shake. You think they even have Shamrock
So what
Shake?
you're saying?
not.
It's like living in Buckner,
Yeah.
Missouri.
Hammer
Wow.
and sickle shakes.
Wow. We have a Sonic in Buckner, Missouri. I'll have you know, sir.
All right.
That's high.
We have a
That's
Sonic.
right up there with Applebee's.
Right. So I wanted to play that because I thought, Kamala Harris was pretty funny, but the gas prices are not funny. And what's happening to the Ukrainians is not funny. And I think it is right before, or like an hour before we came on the air here with Kimberly's Revolution, they had just dropped a bomb or a missile on a hospital, a children's hospital that also has a maternity ward hooked up to it. It's completely demolished. So they say that there were people in the hospital, the children's hospital, and the maternity ward. I don't even, I
Sick.
can't even think about that. But, and Lindsey Graham had a great idea, and people are just, they're on
they're
him.
killing
They're
him for it.
attacking him.
Well,
Rawr.
Lindsey Graham's
And
an
I'm like,
asshole.
I love Lindsey Graham. He is a
He's
Southern.
no Chad Hummel, that Lindsey
an
Graham.
No, he's not. He's not. But
He's a flip-flopping, money grubbing.
he is a U.S. senator
Yeah,
from South
exactly.
Carolina. He is a conservative.
Right.
I love him. He had the balls to come out and say, let's just play it, Austin.
All right.
As you see heartbreaking pictures about the Ukrainians leaving in droves of just a suitcase, there's also a flow of people going into Ukraine fighting.
Senator Graham also called on Russian citizens to take action against President Putin.
Putin needs to be taken out by his own people, not by American soldiers. I'm not supporting American boots on the ground in the Ukraine.
Monday morning, Senator Graham spoke with concern for the American people amid the surging prices of gas and food, comparing it to a much larger picture.
Tough days ahead for America and the world here, but compare our suffering to that of the Ukrainian people.
During a time of disruption,
So
in the
basically,
world,
he just
says
said
Americans are banding
the world would be better off if we just took him out. and I happen to agree.
Lindsey's part of the swamp.
I happen to agree with Senator Lindsey Graham that Putin needs to be just taken out. Just assassinate him, just kill him, just get rid of him.
You notice
Just be done with him.
he was on local channel 7. He wasn't on Newsmax.
Is that well? Not like you. Let me ask
He
you.
was
Did any?
talking to a local channel 7 reporter in backwoods,
Yeah.
Swillwater, South Carolina. I mean, give me a freaking break. I was on Newsmax today.
You
at
were on
10:30,
Newsmax, but let me
right
ask
here in
you,
Aranda Hood.
because you bring up a great point. He was being talked
Wait,
to by
wait, Chad has a point.
a local reporter. Did any local reporter call you, Chad Hummel? Besides Spectrum News,
No, I don't think Spectrum News even contacted me.
after your acquittal,
No, not. I don't.
after you
Look,
after you actually went to trial,
Correct. I don't believe
and was
anyone did.
acquitted,
Just
no
Lons-
one was there.
Lonsberry did.
No one was
No,
there.
Lonsberry didn't
Um,
contact me. Lonsberry had my attorney on,
Yeah.
but I'm not even sure as I sit here whether Lonsberry contacted my attorney or it was the other way around. So, but no, not a single. And I forgive me if you're out there and you're watching, you're probably not, but no, I don't believe there was a single local news reporter
So
contacted.
Chad Hummel,
Not one.
Chad Hummel just forgave Chad Hummel.
Not one. So I
Is that what just
wanted to
happened?
point that
That's
out.
hard to do.
I wanted to point that out. All right.
Yeah.
Before we go, and I've got to go because I promised my daughter I would be with her at an appointment today.
All right.
But I just have a question. So you, because we're realtors here, Kimberly's Revolution is under the umbrella of Revere Realty, and you, Chad Hummel, are a broker as well as an attorney, and you, Just Tom, are an appraiser
I'm something.
in a real estate, right?
Mhm.
And I do real estate. So if you need to sell your home, if you're moving out of the state of New York, or if you need to buy a home, we can help you get that done. But let me just say you fell in love with a house, right? You fell in love with this house, but it's $400,000 outside of your price range.
That's all.
That's
400?
$400,000. Do you reduce the price filter on your search? Do you B, get another job to make more money so you can afford the $400,000 over your price range house? Or do you C, murder your mom and your sister, stage it as a suicide, and then raid their bank accounts for the money to close on your house in 4 days?
Or D.
No, there's no D.
You just have your realtor go show you these houses, even though you already know you can't afford it.
Oh,
To
no.
waste their time.
I don't do anything without a pre-qualification. Thank you very much. I
say
learned my lesson the
I
hard
say
way.
you go get the cat out of the tree and collect the reward from
This lady right here.
I go
I
see.
don't know if we have we
I go
have the
see.
video. We don't have the picture. We have the
Absolutely.
video.
See.
for creativity.
You're gonna go see.
Yeah,
So this is a story out of McLean, Virginia.
and hire my attorney. You'll be found out.
Mother and daughter were found shot to death in their home. The accused, another daughter, her name is Pamela Hargan, I believe.
Pamela Fokker.
No.
So does this person look like they've been smoking crack for 10 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So this woman decided she wanted this very expensive house and she couldn't afford it. So what she did was she killed her mother and her sister, and within hours started transferring money out of their bank account so she could close on a house. I'm not making this up
Look,
at all.
3% is 3%. I'll take it.
I know, right?
Give me some crack.
Her name is her mother's name was Pamela. This woman's name is Megan Hargan. And let's hear because you've heard some crazy stories in real estate before, but this has got to take the cake.
All right.
Detectives determined early in the investigation that the scene was staged and made to appear to be a murder-suicide.
The alleged motive? Money.
315.
Investigators discovered Megan Hargan was in the process of closing on a new home and had access to her mother's bank account passwords. Prosecutors will present evidence to show Megan Hargan allegedly withdrew more than $400,000 from her mom's account.
Megan Hargan attempted fraudulent money transfers from her mother's account on the day of the murders as well as the day before.
Megan Hargan has pleaded not guilty. The year-and-a-half-long investigation and COVID restrictions led to this delay in bringing the case to trial. This is the first high-profile jury trial here in more than 2 years, and for jury selection only.
But anyway, so here's
higher
the deal.
profile in Chad Hummel's
Can I
trial.
just tell you? Your mortgage, your lender is going to wonder where that money came from. You're not supposed to be moving money around when you're going to close on a house, right?
Didn't mom give her a gift letter as she was taking her dying breaths?
Banks and lenders get a little,
cash is king.
A little hissy about that.
Yeah, it's just 400,000 here, 400,000 there. It's no big deal.
All of a sudden,
Nothing to see here.
There's $400,000 that pops up in her account. You don't think the bank is going to wonder where that came from? And here's the thing. She killed her mom and her sister and then immediately within hours started transferring the money out because that doesn't look like, you're guilty or anything.
Yeah, it's like raising the spouse's life insurance policy from $100,000 to $2 million,
and then killing them the next week.
And then they're dead the next week.
Holy hell! Or people still. I mean, she doesn't look like she was, the general brain trust. Oof! Thank you, Austin. Wow! Right? So let's just say this for the record: if you want to buy a house $400,000 over what you're approved at. Yeah, I can help you, but I want to make sure you have proof of funds in your account. That's all I'm saying. Who you got to kill to get the money is none of my business.
Roll mom's dead body, and that's proof of
None
funds.
of my business. I don't want to know where the money came from. I just want to know that you're good for the cash when we go to close.
Love it.
If it screws up at closing, I'm out.
But you're still going to hold the commission.
Ugh, it's awful. But anyway, all right.
Buy more ammo.
Of course. Chad, where are you going to be the rest of the week? What major news, platform are you going to be on?
I have two requests right now that I haven't
Do you?
responded to.
I was just joking.
Yeah, yeah. They're honestly nothing that I've heard of. They're both, self-proclaimed national news wires. I don't know what they're. I haven't heard of them, but I have two requests in.
I think one is the All Chad All the Time Network.
Correct.
Right. And then I think the other one is
24-hour Chad Network.
It's Chad. It's me.
What's up, Chad's gas?
All right. Thanks for tuning in today. Of course, Chad Hummel, Just Tom, and Austin, our producer. I am Kimberly of Kimberly's Revolution. Please call Taylor 500 Help if you need air conditioning or your furnace looked at, or maybe you need a new water heater from Bradford White Water Heaters, Precision Lawn and Garden. Kimberly and Justin up in Webster will help you get all set up. And Express Sealers, Brian there at 645-2010 will get you set up with. You got to make your appointments early to have your driveway sealed. I hear that it's a little pricey for the sealant because they haven't got a whole lot of it.
Gas?
Could be.
Oil. It's made out of oil.
There you go. So anyway, we appreciate all of you. Of course, Kimberly's Revolution will be back next Tuesday, as long as my husband doesn't have any kind of emergency surgery.
Everything's okay with that, though, right?
Everything's okay. Yeah, there he is. There he is.
Hey, go to our website and buy a t-shirt.
Buy a t-shirt.
If you like the show, or even if you can't stand us, go buy a t-shirt because it helps cover the cost of the show.
How could they not stand us? We're
Who
like
knows?
we're good looking people.
Who cares?
And
just buy a damn t-shirt.
We've got Chad.
Yeah, we do.
And
God bless. Be kind to others.
of course.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor 500 Help.